Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. For the better part of today, there were some speculations that two Supreme Court judges, Dr. Smokin Wanjala and DCJ Philomena Mwilu, had tendered their resignation. And that forced the judiciary to respond. And they had this to say: the judiciary Kenya, fake. And then you are seeing Philomena Mwilu and Dr. Smokin Wanjala. And then you are seeing there, information has it, Supreme Court judges Smokin Wanjala and DCJ Philomena Mwilu submits notices of resignation to the registrar JSC. Reasons not disclosed. So the judiciary has stamped that fake. And I always believe, ladies and gentlemen, where there is smoke, there is fire. Most likely, somebody might have just leaked what is cooking in at the Supreme Court of Kenya. So in this video, I want us to dig deep to see exactly what's happening behind the scenes. Before we do that, I want us also to listen in to James Orengo speaking today about the Supreme Court. Listen into this.
I respect the court and I've practiced.
Yes. James Orengo is not mincing his words. And I know quite a good number of Kenyans will agree with James Orengo. What happened at the Supreme Court was a mockery on the intelligence of Kenyans, because Kenyans followed the proceedings live. And any person will tell you that the petitioners had a watertight case, a case that could have seen the Supreme Court nullify this year's presidential elections. But the Supreme Court nonetheless upheld William Ruto's win. And if you look at the kind of language by the Supreme Court, the language that was being read by Martha Koome, hot air, wild goose chase, fool's errand, lost cause, vain attempt, worthless pursuit, nonsense. Those are not words, those are not words that befits the apex court in the land. Those are words that most likely were written by politicians and were given to the Supreme Court judges to read to Kenyans. I personally still believe and I maintain that out of the 9 issues that were for determination, there was no way the Supreme Court could not even agree with the petitioners even on one single issue. The Supreme Court actually took Kenyans for a ride. That's what I believe and I still maintain. And now back to the speculations of some 2 Supreme Court judges resigning. I believe that things are not good at the Supreme Court. I know there is some guilt eating them from within, eating them from inside. Because what happened, the Supreme Court just upheld impunity. That judgment, in my honest opinion, threw this country years back to the Nyayo era. And it will take this country years for Kenya to get its footing right again. The Supreme Court sold the country to the highest bidder. The speculation that some justices are tendered in their resignation, it might be possible, ladies and gentlemen, that the information was leaked before the resignations were tendered. Or if maybe the resignations are not in the pipeline, then there is some serious conflict, some serious problem with the judges. Some might be considering resigning. That's what I can make of those speculations of the justices tendering their resignation. Things are not good at the Supreme Court. And this is why now I believe more than any other time that Kenyans should do away with that Supreme Court. It's not serving its intended purpose. Because I don't just see any Kenyan in the near future moving to the Supreme Court to challenge a presidential election from the kind of ruling we saw by Mother Koome and her bench. I'm not just seeing any Kenyan in the coming days moving to the Supreme Court to challenge a presidential election. And besides that, upon the Supreme Court upholding William Ruto's win, they also struck out a petition that was challenging regarding Gachagwa's suitability to occupy the office of the deputy president, basing their argument on Chapter 6 of the Constitution, integrity and leadership. The Supreme Court struck out that petition that was challenging regarding suitability to occupy the office of the deputy president. And that also annoyed Kenyans because the High Court had found Rigathi Gachagua guilty of irregularly acquiring 200 million Kenya shillings. And the court ordered Rigathi Gachagua to surrender the said amount to the state. Even with that kind of evidence, the Supreme Court found Rigathi Gachagua fit to hold a public office. The Supreme Court is not serving its intended purpose. It's high time it's done away with. And from the rumors of resignation, that Tower of Babel most likely is crumbling. Let me stop it there. In case you are watching us for the very first time, but so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you, God bless Kenya. To any other person who might want to have a chat with me, or to support this channel, or to share information with me, you can channel your contribution or support to my number. I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number. And to any other person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. And if possible, subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you, God bless you. Let's meet in our next analysis.